This is a cheap adventure to Eindhoven in the Netherlands. And let's start this venture off with a really unusual and weird house hunt lift. This lift's really noisy and sounds like it's got a worm drive motor. There is a really rare model of lift, the House Hunt Smart, since House Hunt was owned by Schindler. These are really rare, but is this one of them or is this different? I really don't know, it's so odd. So let's open up this lift, take a look at the motor to try and work out what sort of lift this is. And I'm even more confused because what is that motor? Is that the Schindler and Arona worm drive motor but sort of turned 90 degrees in a weird way so it looks different? Or is that a completely different motor? I really don't know, it's such a weird lift. And above where this little car park lift comes out on the ground floor, there's like a sloping roof bit, but you can actually go and walk up its roof area. It's a really interesting bit of architecture. Along to one of the tall glass buildings and into the lift there. And along to Eindhoven train station. At the train station, there's a lot of bikes, and I really mean a lot of bikes. And look at all of these bikes, but this scene is just a tiny little bit of how many bikes there are in total. There are bikes everywhere. So over here, there's even more bikes, and yet more bikes. And if we leave this bit and go over to this next bit, there's even more bikes. And down to this road tunnel, and the bikes continue all through the tunnel, and right out to the other side of the tunnel, there's more bikes. They really love cycling here. In fact, in the centre of Eindhoven, there's big streets like this, which look like a full-size street, but the only vehicles on this street are bikes. They've got a full-size street just for cycling. And we go over to the other side of the train station, and over at the other side, there's even more bikes. And along to the student hotel, which isn't really a hotel, it's more like student accommodation. And this has some Mitsubishi MRLs that go 1.6 meters a second. And along to Eindhoven University. And this university looks really nice. And along into its first building, which seems to be quite an arty looking building. And this has some glass ThyssenKrupp lifts. But as they're doing renovations, they've added protective wood into the lift, meaning you can no longer see out of these glass lifts. And let's keep on going around this university and along to the next building. These appear to have some old lifts that were modernised with an Otis mod. And this seems to be like the same style of modernisation like Tesco's in Chatham, where they've added this weird belt cable 2-to-1 wheel on the middle of the chassis of the lift. It's very weird. And this has destination dispatch.
Press the button repeatedly to increment floor numbers. Hold the button to enter destination. Press the button -1, lobby, 2, 3, 4, 5. Floor 5. Proceed to car A to the left front.
And let's go looking around this university, and this university looks really nice, far better than the university I went to. I went to University of Kent, which was a bloody shithole. The University of Kent didn't care about its students at all. When you were there, you felt like one of many students which they were trying to rush through a degree, while the university just takes your student fee, and there's no support at all. The teachers do not care one bit about the students. There's far too many students per teacher. But over in Eindhoven, the university has such a nicer atmosphere, and it feels really friendly here. And in the electronic engineering areas, look how much equipment there is. There's far more equipment per student, and equipment that's more modern, and everything about it looks so much better. And along to the next lifts.
Second floor. Going down. Stopped for safety purposes. Please wait a moment. Stopped for safety purposes. Please wait a moment.
So come looking around this university, and this university has bridges linking up all of the different parts of the university. So when it's raining in winter time, you don't have to go outside and get wet. And along to the next lift, which is an epic inner doorless service lift. Yes! And along to the next lifts, which are some rather generic lifts which are only interesting because they're glass. And along to the next lifts, which are some Schindler 5500s. And along to the next lifts, which are some more Mitsubishis. And there's also a little hydraulic Schindler. And now we got some really nice glass 3 metre a second schindler lifts with full intelligent levelling, mechanic logic and destination dispatch. And now go to some 1.6 metre a second Cone M series lifts. And now go to a little lift down to a car park. And now go to a shopping centre which has some glass lifts. And along to the centre of Eindhoven. And this is what the centre looks like. Let's take a look around. And notice these interesting shaped bits in the centre of the city which are travellators leading downstairs to what I thought was a car park. But no, it's actually a bike park. And there's a lot of bikes down here, a whole large parking area just for bicycles. And now go along to this very interesting shaped building. This is just a shop, and there appears to be no lift here. The lift must be behind the scenes, which is a bit disappointing, because I thought this really posh shop would have a really posh lift. And now go to some tallish towers. It's about 100 metres high. There's a few of these towers dotted around Eindhoven, and I managed to get into one of them. And this one has a 1.6 metre a second Otis 2000. Sadly not as fast as I hoped, but at least it's an Otis 2000 rather than a stupid Gen 2, and let's surf it. And now we go to the Pullman Hotel, which has some very badly modernised Schindlers. Modernised Schindler. And now go to a 1.6 metre a second cone EcoDisc MX-10. Let's surf it. And now into a shopping centre. This has a hydraulic glass Schindler which sadly wasn't working. It also has some EcoDiscs. And now into the next hotel, which has a very cheap lift. And along to the bus station. And now let's get on a VDL electric bus along to the airport. Stop.